What up, everybody? It's your boy Agent, and we're back once again. Yes, back again. We are back for another week of college football. Yes, we are heading to week 8 already, man. Can you believe it? And I know it started off late this year, but I said, hey, why not? Let me get into picking games. I'm a big fan of college football. I love it. So why not? Let me just do the picks for the heck of it and have some fun and give you guys some good entertainment. Not saying I'm the greatest at it, but I like to have fun with it, and I do my research and I do my knowledge. And I know I'm only going back to week 4 when I started posting. I should have started earlier, but hey, this is where we are here, and I'm going to give you guys an update. Now, with that being said, over these last 4 weeks, I've gone to combine 37-9. Yes, that is an 80 percentile mark. Yes, I bet a lot of games. And a lot of times when I do these picks, a lot of these games and these picks are in parlays. Week 4, 9-1. Week 5, 11-1. UCF lost me lead. Lost me, blew a 28-point lead. Week 6, 11-1. Texas A&M didn't beat Bama. Last week, my worst week so far this year in college football, 7-6. Started Friday with Colorado losing. So just wasn't a great week for me, but it happens, Trying to get the best of us. But I'm on a pretty good rate. So I'm proud of myself. But like I said, I'm doing them in parlays. You guys want to do that, you could do single bets or 3-leg parlays or however you want to do them, or single game. I recommend even trying to throw some player props in there. Coming up, in these next weeks too, I will have some player props. But this week I decided not to go with the player props. But let's get it started with these week 8 games. And I have 10 games on the slate. Yes, 10 games in a parlay, baby. Let's get it. Now, let's start off. We have Rutgers -4.5 traveling to Indiana. It was 2-4. Indiana just came off of a disastrous beatdown to Michigan. Now Rutgers is coming off a big win, coming back in the fourth quarter to beat Michigan State, scoring 3 touchdowns. I think they'll continue that. They'll get better, and they'll be bowl eligible. And with Greg Schiano coming, I think Rutgers is doing a solid job this year in the Big Ten. I was going to the second game. Western Michigan 2-5 travels to play the Ohio Bobcats 5-2. Ohio had a humiliating defeat last week against the underdog Northern Illinois. Curtis O'Rourke did not play a good game, and I betted on him last week to win. He did not do too particularly well, but I expect him to have a bounce back game, continue to be atop of the MAC conference. Now let's go to game 3. I think this is my biggest question mark game of the week, my biggest gamble of the week. But you gotta take some gambles to make some money, man. Number 17, Tennessee Volunteers travel to Bryant Stadium, Tuscaloosa, and take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama's -8.5 points. Now, I'm gonna go with Tennessee here to cover, not win, but cover this 8.5. I think Bama will win by a touchdown, but the Tennessee defense is elite. 17th in points per game allowed, 17th in yards allowed, and we know Bama's offense is throwing the ball deep, struggling to run the ball. Their offensive line has not been good this year, giving up 26 sacks to Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe actually been completing the deep ball very well, over 60%. With that being said, I think if Tennessee can slow them down, they'll keep the game close, but Bama still wins in a close one, I believe. Now, let's go to this team got me last week. 2-4 Pitt travels to Winston-Salem and take on Wake Forest 3-3. Wake Forest is -1.5. Give me Wake Forest to win this game. Pitt last week was Pitt's first win against an FBS program. Louisville was coming off a high, and Pitt was ready to go, and they played inspired, on fire. Pat Narduzzi even had a vase where they try to keep the negativity out, but I feel like that luck will end. Phil Jacobs got benched. They got new starting quarterback. Rodney Hammond hasn't been great. This is not a great Pitt team. I think Wake Forest will find a way to win this game at home with Mitch Griffiths and company, and they'll get it done. Wake Forest wins. Now let's shift. Now we got South Carolina 2-4 in shambles right now with a tough schedule. Shane Bieber allegedly kicked his foot and broke his foot after the Florida loss last week. They traveled to Columbia, South Missouri to take on the Missouri Tigers, number 20th in the land, 6-1. This has been a surprise start from this Missouri team. Only loss was at home, where they were up against an LSU team who has 2 losses already. Luther Burden, Sam Cook, they'll be ready to go. Theo Weiss, this Missouri team is explosive on offense. And I think they will get this W and continue to let the momentum ride and go to 7-1 and potentially be the second best team in the SEC East, as they do got a matchup with Georgia coming in a few weeks. All right, let's go down. TCU 4-3, who I think is not a good football team after making the college football playoff championship, travels to Kansas State 4-2. Kansas State's -6.5. Give me K-State. They struggled early on in the year, but I think last week they found something, putting the quarterback Avery Johnson, and he had 5 rushing touchdowns. Yes, he was a 247 guy coming out of high school, super athletic. I think they found something there and let it keep going. Now, let's hop to a game. I'm kind of surprised with Clemson 4-2 travels down to Coral Gables and plays Miami. Clemson is -3, and I'm taking Miami all day. I know Miami's coming off 2 back-to-back losses, a heartbreaking loss to Georgia Tech, and then got smoked by North Carolina after they were leading at halftime. I think Miami will have a bounce-back win. I just do not believe in this Clemson team. Dabo's come out this week complaining about winning and all that sorts, complaining about the NIL, complaining about the portal. I'm just tired of hearing it from Dabo. I think Miami will come in inspired, and they're going to snap this 2-game losing streak. Clemson's offense is 40th in points per game, 51st in pass yards per game. Passing yards per game. I'm sorry. I just don't see Clemson's offense being explosive. They don't have the go-to guy. It's not like it was when Deshaun was there, when Trevor was there. Even go back before that. So when Taj Boyd was there, this is a down year for Clemson. I think they'll continue. They'll be losing their 3rd straight game. Now, with that being said, we have 3 more games left. Now let's jump over to number 14. Utah travels to number 18 USC. USC's coming off their first loss of the season. We knew it was coming. We've talked about it. The defense wasn't good, and actually, it's crazy. The defense wasn't too bad last week, but it was the offense. We had 5 turnovers in this game. Caleb had his worst game of his college career. I believe he'll bounce back. USC's -7, but just give me USC to win straight up. I think they'll be able to hold this Utah team. I don't think Utah has the firepower offensively to be able to stay in this game, even if they run the ball. Nate Johnson's playing. Keep hearing Cam Rising coming back. He's not coming back, in my opinion. I don't see it. And I got to get this off my chest real quick. I just hate when we're talking about college football. You never know about injuries. Teams and coaches are able to hide injuries, and no one knows what's going on. Kind of should be like a more NFL format, so we have an idea. I get it. It's a strategy. But at the same time, I just think it's unfair to the fans and to everybody else who needs to know what's going on. All right. 2 more games on slate. Oklahoma State 4-2, who's won 2 games in a row. Alex Bowman, the transfer from Michigan, got his act together. They're playing 3 quarterbacks at the beginning of the season. Mike Gundy's been a solid coach in his time in Stillwater. I think they'll be able to cover this 3.5. West Virginia 4-2, lost a heartbreaker last week on the road to Houston on the Hail Mary, where the guy should have just batted the ball down. Let's see what they can do. But I just believe that Oklahoma State can cover this. West Virginia cannot throw the football. They're averaging 194 passing yards per game. That is awful. They got C.J. Donaldson and Gary Green. I believe they'll win, but they will not cover this. Neil Brown's done a great job. He was on the hot seat coming into this year, and he's continued to do a great job. All right, let's go to the last game. Most importantly, my Michigan Wolverines, 2-0 in the country, 7-0. -24.5, traveling to East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans at 2-4. I'm taking Michigan with the points. I think Michigan will come in and take care of business. They haven't said anything all week. We've had guys from Michigan State come out and say they win. Dylan Tatum, of course. Michigan's been real quiet on the front. I just think Michigan is on a tear right now. In the 4 games in Big Ten play, Michigan has outscored their opponents 180-31. They've gave up 47 points, which is 6.7 points per game, and they've been on a tear, and they've been dominant. I know the competition hasn't been great with Rutgers, Indiana, Minnesota, Nebraska. I'm saying they're not playing Sisters of the Poor, but they're not playing any of these great teams. Big Ten West is horrible, as we all know. Indiana's not good, but I'm going to say Michigan is taking care of business and handling it, like I said, with dominance. They're not going to take this game lightly. Michigan State's wearing these black uniforms, but Michigan's going to make them wear black at their own funeral. I think they'll take care of business. I think the starters will be out of there no later than early in the 4th. Michigan will pull away in the game starting in the 2nd quarter. They'll handle business, man. And these are my picks for the week, man. It's going to be a great college football weekend, baby. I can't wait. I'm excited. Hey, it's your boy Adrian, and I'm out.